All right, get ready to dive deep into the world of Kai-Fu Lee and his vision for AI.
Sounds fascinating.
You gave me quite a mix here.
Oh, yeah.
Excerpts about his career.
Uh-huh.
Thoughts on how the U.S. and China are tackling AI.
Okay.
And even predictions about the future of AI. It's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, Lee has been at the forefront of AI for decades.
Yeah, going way back to those early days,
Right.
trying to teach computers to understand us.
Exactly, human speech.
And then he led Google in China.
Uh-huh.
And now with Sinovation Ventures,
Yeah.
he's basically shaping the AI startup scene there.
He's had such an impact.
It really is incredible.
Definitely.
It's amazing to think
Right.
about his work on Sphinx.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
He's one of the very first speech recognition systems.
It's crazy to think about.
That paved the way for the voice assistants we have today.
It's mind-blowing.
We use them every day now.
I know. Can you imagine life without them?
So I have a question for you.
Okay, sure.
Do you think his early work at Apple, bringing speech recognition to the masses, do you think that influenced his vision?
For
Human-centered AI.
That's a great question.
It's all about making technology accessible.
Yeah.
And user-friendly.
Right.
And that seems to be at the core of what he's doing.
It's clear that Lee sees AI as a tool
Yeah.
to augment human capabilities, not replace us.
Right. He's not afraid of AI.
No.
He sees the potential.
Absolutely.
But he wants to make sure it's used to benefit humanity.
Exactly. And his time at Apple,
Yeah.
focusing on making tech easy to use, that probably shaped his philosophy.
It makes a lot of sense.
It does.
And then he
Yeah.
jumps into venture capital
He does.
with Sinovation Ventures,
That's right.
focusing on AI startups.
Wow.
But he's not just throwing money at any AI company.
No.
He's carefully selecting companies
Yeah.
that align with his vision.
It's fascinating.
Look at some of the companies they've backed.
Right.
Megvii. They're focused on facial recognition,
Interesting.
pushing the boundaries of computer vision.
It's amazing what they're doing.
But what I find really intriguing
Yeah.
is Lulishuo.
Lulishuo.
They're using AI for personalized language learning.
Oh, wow.
If they succeed, it could revolutionize education
Wow.
and communication on a global scale.
That's a big vision.
It's like science fiction becoming reality.
I know, right?
And then you have cloud minds
Yeah.
developing cloud-based robots.
That's interesting.
It's AI stepping out of the digital world
right.
and into our physical spaces.
I mean, it's mind-boggling.
It is.
The possibility.
To be honest,
Yeah.
it's a little unsettling too.
Yeah, I can see that.
It makes you think about how we integrate these advanced technologies into our lives.
It's a big question.
It is.
And that's where Lee's perspective on East versus West AI comes in.
Yeah, in his book,
AI Superpowers.
he doesn't shy away from the
Okay,
fact that China is becoming an AI powerhouse.
They are.
They're rapidly catching up to the U.S.,
And in some ways,
Yeah.
surpassing us.
especially in terms of implementation and application.
Right? They move fast.
They do.
Very fast.
It's interesting how he highlights
What?
the different approaches.
The U.S. and China.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The U.S. is more focused on fundamental research,
Yeah.
laying the groundwork for breakthroughs.
Right. The theory.
China,
Yeah.
they're incredibly adept
At what?
taking those breakthroughs
Yeah.
and turning them into real-world applications,
And they do it so quickly.
like lightning speed.
It's impressive.
Think about mobile payments.
Okay.
China adopted them on a massive scale,
Uh-huh.
while the U.S. lagged behind.
That's a good example.
It seems like Lilly sees the strengths in both approaches.
He does.
The U.S. pushing the boundaries of what's possible,
Yeah.
and China rapidly scaling and implementing,
Yeah, I think he's suggesting.
that they could learn from each other.
Absolutely. He's a big advocate for collaboration,
Not competition.
especially when it comes to AI ethics.
He believes that a global, unified approach
Was important.
is essential
Yeah.
to ensure AI benefits everyone.
It makes a lot of sense.
We're not talking about niche technology here.
No.
This is AI.
Right.
It's going to impact every aspect of our lives,
Healthcare, transportation, how we work.
even how we create art.
It's huge.
It needs careful consideration
It is.
from everyone.
Not just the tech giants.
Exactly. And that's why Lee's perspective is so valuable.
Yeah, he gets it.
He's not just a tech guru.
No, he's more than that.
He understands the social and economic implications,
Right. He sees the big picture.
and he's not afraid to talk about the challenges,
No, he's very frank
especially
when he talks about AI's potential impact on jobs.
Oh, yeah. The job market.
He doesn't sugarcoat it.
No, he doesn't.
Some jobs will be displaced by AI.
That's inevitable. He's also optimistic.
About
the new opportunities that will emerge.
Right.
It's like he's saying, what?
Yeah.
Yes, there will be challenges, but let's focus on adapting.
Yeah.
And preparing for this new reality.
It's a good mindset.
It is.
And his predictions for the next decade,
they
really highlight both the challenges and opportunities.
He believes AI will transform healthcare, transportation, even the creative industries.
He's exciting.
I'm really fascinated by his vision for AI in healthcare.
Oh, yeah. Tell me more.
It's like he sees AI empowering doctors with incredible tools for diagnosis, treatment, and even personalized care.
Wow.
Imagine analyzing your DNA to predict health risks years in advance.
It's incredible.
That's the kind of future he's talking about.
It's a powerful vision.
It is.
But it also raises questions.
Oh, of course.
About data privacy.
And access.
Yeah. Who will benefit from these breakthroughs?
Will everyone have equal access?
That's the question.
It's a critical one.
It is.
And I'm sure we'll come back to those ethical considerations.
Yeah.
But before we do that,
I
want to touch on something else that struck me about Lee's journey.
What's that?
His transition from academia to industry and then to venture capital.
Yeah. It's an interesting path.
What do you think drove that evolution?
That's a good question.
Was it just about innovation?
Or something more?
It's like he's drawn to real-world problems.
He is.
He wants to make a tangible impact.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it.
He's not just interested in the theory of AI.
No.
He wants to see it used to improve people's lives.
Exactly, and that's what makes his predictions so compelling.
So, are you ready to unpack some of those predictions?
Absolutely, let's do it.
I'm particularly curious about his take on autonomous driving.
Self-driving cars.
Yeah, and how that might reshape our cities and our lives.
Okay, let's dive in.
His vision for the future of transportation. It's exciting and thought-provoking.
He really believes self-driving cars are coming.
I think so too.
And they have the potential to revolutionize everything.
It's going to be a wild ride.
I can't wait.
Okay, so we've talked about Lee's background.
Yeah.
And his experiences have shaped his views on AI.
Right.
Especially his focus on human-centered technology. But now let's dive into the exciting stuff.
Okay.
His predictions for the future.
Yeah, the future of AI.
What does he see on the horizon for AI in the next, 5 to 10 years?
Well, he's made it pretty clear that he sees AI transforming several key industries, healthcare, transportation, even creative fields like art and music.
That's interesting.
He seems particularly excited about autonomous driving. Self-driving cars.
That one really captures the imagination.
It does, doesn't it?
Self-driving cars have been a staple of science fiction.
For decades.
For so long.
And now it feels like they're finally within reach. Like we're on the cusp.
It's really exciting.
So what specifically does Lee predict will happen?
Yeah, what's his vision?
He believes we're on the verge of widespread adoption.
Oof.
Autonomous vehicles.
Not just personal cars.
No, not just cars.
Okay.
Trucks, delivery vans.
Wow.
Even public transportation.
That's a big change.
He thinks it could completely reshape transportation systems.
So he paints this picture of cities with fewer accidents.
Okay.
Less congestion.
Yeah.
Maybe even a shift away from car ownership altogether.
It's a bold vision.
That raises some interesting questions, though.
It does.
What happens to all the people whose jobs rely on driving?
Right, like truck drivers.
Taxi drivers.
Yeah.
Even people who work in parking garages.
Those jobs could be impacted.
What about the infrastructure?
Yeah, good point.
Are roads and cities ready for self-driving vehicles?
Those are all valid concerns.
Yeah.
And Lee acknowledges them.
Oh, good.
He doesn't shy away from the potential job disruption. But he also emphasizes adaptation, retraining.
And he thinks new jobs will emerge
as these technologies evolve.
So it's not just about the technology.
Yeah.
It's about managing the societal shifts that come with it.
Precisely. And that ties into his focus on ethics, responsible development. He's adamant that we need to consider the consequences of AI and put safeguards in place
to protect people,
to ensure that AI benefits everyone.
That's a great point.
It's crucial.
So moving beyond transportation.
Yeah.
Let's talk about healthcare.
Okay.
Lee seems very optimistic about AI in healthcare.
He does.
He thinks it could revolutionize healthcare.
How so?
How we diagnose and treat diseases.
Okay.
Even prevent them.
He truly believes that AI could usher in a new era of personalized medicine.
Personalized medicine.
Yeah, imagine your doctor analyzing your DNA, your lifestyle, your environment, to create a health plan tailored to you.
That's amazing.
AI could also detect diseases much earlier.
Potentially saving lives.
Exactly. Early detection is key.
It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It does. Right.
But it also raises ethical questions.
Of course.
Like, who has access to all this personal data?
That's a big one.
And what if this technology is only available to the wealthy?
Those are valid concerns.
Yeah.
And Lee is very aware of those potential inequalities.
Okay.
He stresses the need for transparency, fairness, accessibility.
Especially in healthcare.
It's about making sure everyone benefits.
Not just a select few.
Exactly. He's advocating for a more equitable approach.
That sounds like it.
Where AI benefits all of humanity.
Okay, so we've talked about self-driving cars. And AI-powered healthcare.
Yeah.
What about Lee's predictions for the creative industries?
Ah, yes. That's an interesting one.
That's the one I find really intriguing.
I know what you mean.
And a little bit mind-blowing.
It is mind-blowing. AI as a creative partner.
Yeah, helping us to write music.
Compose music.
Design buildings.
Create art.
It challenges our notions of creativity.
It does, doesn't it?
But isn't there a concern that AI could replace human artists?
Yeah. And musicians.
Valid concern.
There's definitely a debate about that. But Lee's view is that AI should enhance human creativity.
Not replace it.
Exactly. It's a tool.
A tool to augment our abilities.
Imagine a musician using AI to generate melodies.
Okay.
Or a painter collaborating with AI to create textures and patterns.
It's about expanding the possibilities.
Not eliminating human input.
That's a really interesting perspective.
It is. It's about collaboration.
So it sounds like Lee is encouraging us
to
embrace AI, but also recognize the need for human guidance.
Yes, and ethical considerations.
It's about finding that balance.
Exactly. He's not blindly advocating for AI.
No.
He understands its potential for both good and harm.
Okay, so we've covered Lee's predictions for transportation, healthcare, and creative industries.
It's a lot.
Are there any other areas where he sees AI having a major impact?
Well, he also talks about AI's potential to help us address global challenges like climate change and poverty.
That's really interesting.
It is, isn't it?
I hadn't considered those applications before.
It's a different way of thinking about AI.
So how exactly does he see AI playing a role in tackling those issues?
Well, in the case of climate change, he believes AI can help optimize energy consumption, develop renewable energy sources,
interesting,
even monitor deforestation and other environmental changes.
It's about using AI to analyze massive amounts of data.
Exactly, finding solutions that humans might miss.
So it's not just about making our lives more convenient.
No.
It's about using AI to create a better future.
For everyone.
A more sustainable future.
A more equitable future.
That's a really important takeaway from Lee's work.
It is.
He's not just focused on technological advancements.
No, he's thinking bigger.
He's thinking about the broader societal and ethical implications.
That's what makes his perspective so valuable.
It sounds like he's calling for a more holistic approach
to AI development.
Yeah, one that considers the long-term consequences.
Right.
And prioritizes human well-being.
She's reminding us that we have a choice in how we shape this technology.
And it's up to us to ensure it's used for good.
That's a powerful message.
Okay, so we've delved into Lee's predictions.
Yeah.
Self-driving cars. Personalized medicine.
Yeah.
AI-powered art. Solutions for climate change.
It's a lot to take in.
It's an exciting vision.
It is.
And frankly, a little daunting.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I want to shift gears a bit and explore another aspect of Lee's perspective.
Which is?
His comparison of the East and West approaches to AI.
Ah, yes. That's a fascinating topic.
He's made some interesting observations.
He has.
About the differences between the U.S. and China.
And how they're approaching AI development.
He seems to believe that both sides have something to learn from each other.
He does. He sees strengths in both approaches.
So we've covered a lot of ground in our deep dive on Kai-Fu Lee.
We have.
His career, his human-centered approach to AI, his bold predictions, and even some of the ethical dilemmas.
It's been quite a journey.
It really has.
I think there's one more key aspect we need to explore.
Okay, what's that?
His comparison of how the East and West are approaching AI.
You're right. He's made some interesting observations about the differences between the U.S. and China.
In terms of AI development.
And he seems to believe that both sides have something to learn from each other.
Absolutely. He's pointed out that the U.S. often prioritizes fundamental research, making groundbreaking discoveries, AI algorithms and theory.
While China excels at implementation and adaptation.
Right, taking those breakthroughs and quickly turning them into real-world applications.
At a massive scale. So it's like the U.S. is focused on what's possible.
And China is asking, how can we use this right now?
That's a great way to put it.
Think about facial recognition technology.
Okay.
While the U.S. was still debating the ethical implications, China had already implemented it everywhere.
Wow.
In security systems, payment platforms.
It's a fascinating contrast.
It is.
It shows how different cultures and political contexts shape AI.
It's not just about the technology itself.
Right. It's about how different societies approach it.
But does Lee see this as a competition?
Or is there room for collaboration?
He's actually a strong advocate for collaboration.
He is.
He believes both the U.S. and China have unique strengths.
Okay.
And that the world will benefit from a global cooperative approach.
So imagine combining the U.S.'s research prowess
with China's ability to implement and scale those innovations.
The possibilities are incredible.
They are.
But is that realistic?
Given the current geopolitical climate. That's the million-dollar question.
It is.
Lee acknowledges the challenges, but he's optimistic that collaboration is possible.
Especially on issues like AI, ethics, and safety.
He believes that by working together, we can create a future where AI benefits everyone.
That brings us back to one of the key themes.
Human-centered AI.
Exactly.
It's about shaping this technology with intention.
And purpose.
Making sure it serves our needs and values.
Lee emphasizes transparency.
Accountability.
Fairness.
These are all crucial.
It sounds like he's calling for a more conscious approach.
To AI development.
One that prioritizes human well-being and social good.
But how do we put those principles into practice?
It all seems very abstract sometimes.
I understand it's one thing to talk about ethics, but it's another to actually implement them.
So what does he suggest?
He suggests clear guidelines and regulations.
For AI development.
And those should be developed through international collaboration.
So it's a global effort.
He also emphasizes education and public awareness.
So everyone understands the potential impacts.
It's not just about the technologists and policymakers.
It's about all of us.
Engaging in this conversation.
Shaping the future of AI together.
It's a call to action.
For everyone.
Lee's message is clear.
What is it?
We're not just passive bystanders.
In the AI revolution.
We have a responsibility to shape its trajectory.
And that responsibility goes beyond national borders.
It's a global challenge.
Requiring a global response.
We need to work together.
It's a daunting task.
It is.
But it's also exciting.
To think we have the opportunity to shape the future of AI.
To steer it towards a path that benefits humanity.
And creates a better world.
That's a powerful and motivating idea.
Is.
I think that's the ultimate takeaway from our deep dive into Kai-Fu Lee's world.
He's not just predicting the future.
He's challenging us to create it.
And he's given us a roadmap.
A roadmap for a human-centered AI future.
One where technology empowers us.
And helps us solve some of the world's biggest challenges.
So what will you do with this knowledge?
How will you engage in this conversation?
Because as Lee reminds us,
the future is not predetermined.
It's something we're creating right now.
Together.
Keep learning.
Keep questioning.
And keep engaging.
Until next time.